愛が二人を引き裂く愛が二人を引き裂く寒々としたベッドで君は背を向けて眠る
Okay, this video is directed towards card-carrying Jehovah Witnesses, the ones that are physically in and mentally in, if you so happen to come across this video. I seriously doubt it unless you're those that, kind of skirt the rules a little bit and watch anyway. But let's play a little game here. A little bit of devil's advocate, and that should be easy for me since I'm worldly, and of course, I'm not bound by, certain rules, and that's according to the Jehovah Witness sort of, mentality towards everyone other than Jehovah Witnesses. So I'm going to play up to their little stereotype or image that they want to portray to their congregants here with this video. And like I said, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and let's just say it's true the world is run by Satan. So all the institutions that you see in, that are in the world, like Disneyland and Six Flags Great America or whatever, or the Louvre in Paris, that famous museum, or even the Taj Mahal, that's all the makings from Satan. So let's just humor them in that regard. But this idea about this video came to me from some family members came to visit for a weekend or so, a few days. And they're relatives of my wife, and they stayed in our house. They feel comfortable staying in our house. So I remember I had some camping gear. I like camping, and I had some extra stuff or whatever, and I actually wanted to get rid of some stuff. So both these guys, it's a man and a woman, and they're in a relationship. But, that's kind of funny right there, because they don't have chaperones, and they don't play by those rules either. So, there you go. But anyway, both these guys wanted some of that stuff for their so-called bug-out bags. And bug-out bags is in case there's a natural disaster or any sort of disaster, civil unrest, or anything of that nature, you have this bag ready to go, filled with supplies that would last you, according to government recommendations, 3 to 4 days of food, shelter, and water, and things of that nature. And they wanted this piece of gear that I had, or some stuff that I had, that I was just going to actually give away. But nobody came to pick it up, so, I gave it to them. No big deal. But they never did explain why they wanted that stuff for their bug-out bags, or what the bug-out bag was for. And I played a little bit coy and stupid and say, well, what do you want the bug-out bags for? And they're like, oh, just to be, and their response was, oh, just to be prepared, in case a natural disaster, something happens, we're ready to face whatever comes, some challenges that they will face. But, that's 75% true, and the other 25% I would think is because just in case the tribulations happen when Jesus or Michael the Archangel, whichever the two he decides to be, comes down to pass judgment on the earth, or the tribulation, where the governments of the earth will turn against religion and will turn against the Jehovah Witness religion. They have a 3 to 4 day, supply of things to have for when that happens. They're prepared. They could go to the forest where they meet out in the open field and wait for Jesus to save them with his bow and arrow. And that's a little, dig or what do you call it, slide towards their latest convention videos where, you just have to be there. So, okay, I didn't dig deep into it or make an issue of it or ask anymore. I was like, okay, no problem. Seems legit to me. If I wasn't really paying that much attention to it, like any other person. Every time you ask them a question about something that pertains to their, what they've been told to do by the Jehovah Witness Society, they always skirt around the real reason. They don't want to give you the real reason why they have a certain item. But it's not clear enough or specific enough to where they could always, they always have a back door to say it's for natural disasters. But it's actually for the Great Tribulation. But they're not going to tell you that. Even though I've known these people for a good, or at least the one person, a good 19, 18 years. We're not buddies, but, it is what it is. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I went on a business trip out in California. I'm from somewhere else. Well, I'm not going to say where I'm from. But I had to go out to California for business. And I passed by this Japanese, World War II Japanese internment camp that's a national park now. It's a display. It's the original site of one of these camps. And what that was is in World War II, they passed an executive order to go and gather up all peoples from Japanese descent and to keep them in concentration camps, the American version of concentration camps, where they're just put in there, guards with guns and barbed wire and searchlights surrounding the whole place, and these are whole families. So I got done with this business really early, and on the way back, I wanted to check this place out because I'm a history buff. I love history, and for not only that it interests me, but like the old saying, those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And the Jehovah Witness, they're trying to erase their past. But anyway, this example of what happened in World War II is what might happen to Jehovah Witnesses during the Great Tribulation, according to their myth or prophecy or whatever they want to call it. So take a good look at this particular site here, because this might happen to you, Jehovah Witnesses. This particular camp is called Manzanar, and it's in Owens Valley in the high desert of California. They're close to Death Valley, kind of fitting. But anyway, this is one of the camps that was located in California that housed all these Japanese people. So let's replace the Japanese people with Jehovah Witnesses families. So at least here in the United States, now that you don't know your history really, this might happen to you when, the tribulation happens. In Germany, something else will happen, and I can't remember, the communist Eastern Bloc states during the 70s, the Cold War, they had re-education camps. In North Korea, I'm sure they got concentration and prison camps up there now. So you could just, imagine those places. I would imagine the United States would be the best place to be in a concentration camp or internment camp, as they call it here. And as a wealthy person, or the governments of the United States run by Satan, you know that they might possibly round the Jehovah Witnesses up last because they're pacifists. They don't vote. They don't participate in civil duties or anything of that nature there. And of course, I would imagine that the United States governments conducted studies on the Jehovah Witness lifestyle and culture to know that you guys are absolutely no threat at all to their well-being, Satan's government of the United States of America. So they're first going to pick out the troublemakers first, like the Muslims. No offense to the Muslims. You guys will probably be rounded up first and put in concentration camps, along with criminals, of course, political personnel, things of that nature. The troublemakers are going to be rounded up first. And I would predict that Jehovah Witnesses will probably be last. You guys are pacifists and won't cause any trouble at all. You guys will probably be more accommodating to the United States government or the people rounding you up, just to show that, you guys are obeying rules and things like that, or like that. So they're gonna round you up and they're gonna put you in this camp. This was the size of this particular camp. I don't remember how many acres it was, but it was quite a big, facility. I would imagine maybe 5, 6 city blocks, New York City size blocks, full with barracks and so forth and other things. This is how many camps they had throughout the United States in the western part, in the desert and really rural places, out of the way from metropolitan areas, except for maybe a couple of. But during the 40s, they were pretty scarce. That's quite a bit of camps there that they had for the Japanese people there. And I don't remember how many Japanese were in the United States at that time, but 8 million Jehovah Witnesses. Let's just be more realistic and say maybe you have 7 to 6 million people, because you are losing members really fast. So by the time of the tribulations, you'll have 6 million people housed in these camps throughout the United States. And it doesn't matter, age or anything like that. Just because you're God's people, as you call yourselves, you are going to be persecuted and, gone after just because you're Jehovah Witnesses, according to your dogma. And there's Grandpa there and Grandma there standing. And here are the babies that are going to be in these internment camps as well. Jehovah Witness babies. Then, of course, everybody's going to be against you. So let's scratch off the Japs keep moving. Let's just put, the J is already on there, so we might as well put JWs keep moving. And the white man's neighborhood, no, that's Satan's neighborhood. Yeah, we'll change the sign to Satan's neighborhood. So JWs keep moving. This is Satan's neighborhood. Kind of like follows what you guys always preached to your congregants out there. These are the accommodations where you'll be living at. Homemade chairs, or you guys will probably have to build chairs and furniture out of pallets or whatever Satan will, give to you at the time. And there's a windswept sort of terrain of the Owens Valley over at close to Bishop or Lone Pine, California. It's really windy out there, and that's what the Japanese people there, the internees, were saying, that there was constantly wind, and the sand and dirt always blew into the barracks and so forth. It's really cold there too. And during the summer, it gets really, really hot. I mean, it's extreme temperature. And I think the elevation there is 4,000 feet above sea level. So here are some more barracks. So get used to communal living for a little bit. Don't know if you guys will be divided by congregations, group yourselves together by congregations. You already got that system sort of set down already, kind of like platoons or crews. For married couples, there's how you're gonna, make yourself a queen size or king size bed by putting 2 racks together. Okay, this is one of the bathrooms. This is the actual bathroom of the time, but it's been decommissioned, of course, and the plumbing doesn't work, but they still have the display there. So it's not a working bathroom anymore, but just a display. So it was all communal. There are the toilets. Not much privacy there. It kind of reminds me of the toilets in the military too, a few decades ago. So I hope you're comfortable being close to, your sisters or brothers. There's the communal showers. One big room with multiple shower heads. Get used to that, and you're not guaranteed hot water either. Now this is the chow hall, the dining facility there, and they made their own food. It was all run by the Japanese community there, so they took care of themselves. And to your credit, Jehovah Witnesses also take care of themselves too, in that particular sense. If you're not disfellowship or go against, the rules of the Jehovah Witness dogma. So here's a makeshift schoolroom, and Americans not Japanese, from the nearby community actually volunteered to teach the kids school. This is the cemetery. I don't know what that is saying. So of course this was all a theoretical sort of exercise here on what Jehovah Witnesses think might happen to them. Well, there's one sort of comment I like to make, or whatever, is that I could promise you this, that I will not have my kids grow up in this fear. They will not know fear like this type of fear. That is going to be guaranteed for sure. All right.